The House joins the global community in commemorating the International Day of the Girl Child. This day highlights the challenges faced by girls around the world while celebrating their resilience, potential, and crucial role in shaping a better future.
After taking the seat of the presiding officer, the shadow speaker presided over the presentation by the chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, Kafilas Obara, on commemoration of the 2024 International Day of the Girl Child.
The House is aware that gender discrimination is a global phenomenon that engulfs many nations of the world due to patriarchy and cultural stereotypes. While other nations have made giant strides in closing the gender gap, Nigeria is still grappling with these issues, starting from access to education, healthcare, and access to basic amenities. Despite Nigeria being a signatory to the Convention of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, Convention of Child's Rights, and many others, like harmful practices like the female genital mutilation, is still being practiced of the country, which is a direct violation of human rights of women and, of course, the girls.
Adopting the motion, the House resolved to educate the public on dangers of drug abuse, promote a drug-free lifestyle, and make provisions for rehabilitation. Consequently, the shadow speaker mandated the House Committees on Women Affairs and Social Development and Basic Education Services to engage the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Federal Ministry of Education, with other stakeholders by organizing workshops, creating awareness campaigns, and monitoring progress to ensure compliance.
I envision a future where every girl, regardless of where she comes from, has an opportunity to flourish, where education isn't seen as a high pedestal privilege, but as an essential tool to equip girls to make important decisions that affect them and ultimately the places they come from. According to the United Nations, nearly 1 in 5 girls are still not completing lower secondary school, and nearly 4 in 10 girls are not completing upper secondary school today. As if these numbers aren't concerning enough, they are at a constant risk of harassment and the what ifs that are associated with violence, which simply should not exist. I want a future where we don't have to combat all the overwhelming experiences of childhood and adolescence alone.
Addressing the House, Ms. Anani, winner of the Girl Takeover Initiative in University where education isn't seen as a high pedestal privilege, but as an essential tool to equip girls to make important decisions that affect them, and ultimately the places they come from. This year's theme conveys both the need for urgent action and persistent hope, driven by the power of girls' voices and vision for the future. And elsewhere in Abuja, stakeholders stated to get the best of the girl child, they must be harnessed early, groomed early, and supported early.
The Nigerian Senate on Thursday condemned the worrying developments across the 36 states where the political party in power always wins 100% or 99% of seats each time a local government council election is conducted. The upper legislative body admitted that democracy is at best non-existent at the local government level in the country, calling for urgent actions to rescue the third tier of government. The resolution came after a motion by Senate Minority Leader Abba Moro, representing Benue South, and co-sponsored by other senators. Senator Moro highlighted that voters in Benue State and elsewhere waited for hours on election day without seeing election materials or officials at many polling units.
For our concern, not just as senators, but as ambassadors of the good people of Benue State, who have cried to us and have asked us to voice this charity out in these hallowed chambers for the attention of our colleagues, so that collectively we shall find a way towards resolving this heinous political crime that is being committed at the levels of this country. You will agree with me that in the democracy, election is not just a mere political activity. It is supposed to be an avenue where our mandate, our authority to provide leadership is derived from.
There was no election in Benue. Whether APC or what, there was no election. I am. The fact that I'm in APC, I cannot support what is wrong.
Other senators observed that all the political parties and states were guilty of the same offense.
This is going to be a serious and difficult issue to resolve. National Assembly alone, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, cannot resolve this. We can do our part, but we'll do beyond our part. We can say, okay, let's try to say I should do. But is that the solution? No. Even INEC, in some states, people complain about INEC.
INEC, to allow INEC to control this, because we saw that in 1999, when INEC conducted elections to elect those to be councillors and local government chairmen, that was free and fair. You could find a PDP chairman in a state like Kebbi, where the governor was an APP governor, and APP, the councillor and chairman in Kano State when PDP was.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, called for measures including a national dialogue to discuss solutions to what they describe as sham elections and a third-tier government.
And thoroughly screen the nominee, and it is satisfied with his qualifications, exposure, conduct, character, experiences, and general performance.
Ultimately, the Senate agreed to initiate an open national dialogue with stakeholders, particularly state governors, and to meet with President Bola Tinubu. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has officially confirmed Professor Abdullahi Usman as the chairman of the Hajj Commission. The confirmation of Usman's nomination followed the consideration and adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, chaired by Senator Abubakar Bello on Thursday. Senator Bello, in his report following the screening conducted by his committee, said that Usman merited being appointed to head the nation's apex Hajj body.
And so, screen the nominee, and it is satisfied with his qualifications, exposure, conduct, character, experiences, and general performance. The nominee has displayed wide and in-depth knowledge of Hajj activities and operations. Therefore, the committee recommends as follows: that the Senate do confirm the nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman for appointment as chairman.
The confirmation was finalized with a supportive voice vote led by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio.
The Senate confirmed the nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh for appointment as chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. Those in favor say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Professor Abdullahi Saleh is hereby confirmed as chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
With this new role, Usman is expected to enhance Nigeria's Hajj management and services. The Rivers State government has reacted to the appeal court's judgment on the reinstatement of the Martin Amawule-led faction of the State House of Assembly. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Israel Dagogo Iboruma, stated that Amawule and 26 others had defected on December 11, 2023, and that their seats became automatically vacant from the day they announced their defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC, to the whole world. Iboruma insisted that the issue of defection of Amawule and 26 others was never before the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal, Abuja, and therefore no court has legitimized their membership of the House of Assembly on the basis of the defection. He recalled that Governor Similaye Fubara on 13th day of December 2023 presented a 2024 appropriation bill to Rivers State House of Assembly led by the Edison Ehie, who was recognized as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly at the time, which was later passed into law and became the Appropriation Law of 2024. He recalled that following the crisis in the Rivers State House of Assembly and the intervention by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the parties withdrew their cases in courts to allow peace reign, which the governor obeyed and withdrew his cases and the processes he filed in court. According to the Attorney General, the defection of Martin Amewule and 26 others was not an issue for determination in the Federal High Court, Abuja, and the Court of Appeal, saying the issue was the 2023 Appropriation Law and the National Assembly taking over the legislative functions of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Meanwhile, the Rivers State's Commander of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has refuted reports circulating on the social media in connection with the 10 operational vehicles donated to the organization by Governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara. Speaking on behalf of the state's commandant, Joachim Okafor, on the issue in Port Harcourt, the command spokesman Olufemi Ayodele said that in line with the usual tradition of service commanders paying courtesy call to the chief security officers of the state, the new state commandant did same upon assumption of office and enumerated the achievements and challenges faced by the command. Ayodele explained that it was based on the presentation that the governor, who had earlier donated over 100 vehicles to some security agencies in Rivers State, announced the same gesture by donating 10 Toyota Hilux vehicles to enhance the operational efficiency of the NSCDC Rivers State just before the conduct of the local government elections. The command spokesperson expressed disappointment about the reports making the rounds on social media to the effect that the donated vehicles were compensation for the just concluded local government elections, describing it as false and misleading. He explained that Commandant Joachim Okafor was recently deployed as the 15th substantive Rivers State Commandant by NSCDC Commandant General based on his pedigree of diligent service and track records of numerous excellent achievements as head of the anti-vandal squad in Kano State, Rivers State, and Commandant of Niger State, where the command under his watch got the donations of 20 operational vehicles from Niger State's governor. He said the role of the NSCDC in the last local government election centered on the routine patrol and the protection of critical national assets and infrastructure across the state based on the intelligence report at its disposal even before the election was conducted, knowing that those infrastructure and amenities serve the people of the state. According to him, the organization remains neutral, apolitical, and non-partisan in matters of elections, but sincerely committed to actualizing its core mandates by combating vandalism of public utilities and swift response to rescue victims during emergency. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has rejected the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The marketers, with over 70% of filling stations in Nigeria, threatens that they will stop operation if NNPCL refuses to back down on its new petrol ex-depot price of 1,010 naira per litre. The spokesperson of Ipman, Chinedu Okadike, disclosed this in an interview on Friday morning. His comments come as NNPC on Wednesday announced a fresh price hike across its retail outlets nationwide to between 998 naira and 1,030 naira in Abuja and Lagos State. The state-owned company also announced between 1,040 naira to 1,010 naira as the per litre prices they will sell to marketers. Reacting, Okadike said the ex-depot petrol prices announced by NNPCL show that the company is poised to inflict continued sufferings on Nigerians. He stressed that Ipman members will not accept a petrol price higher than what NNPCL sells as its retail outlets. According to him, the action of NNPCL cannot be termed as deregulation. He noted that with the NNPCL petrol ex-depot price of 110 naira, oil marketers who own the majority of filling stations nationwide will sell the product at 1,200 naira per litre. This portends a looming fuel scarcity nationwide. The majority of filling stations were not dispensing fuel on Thursday. Earlier, the Nigerian Labour Congress called for an immediate reversal of the latest fuel price hike by NNPCL. However, the Nigerian government on Wednesday blamed market forces for the fuel hike in the country. The president of the Nigerian Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says he believes that the market forces would soon stabilize the price of fuel. Akpabio, who made the declaration during a media briefing, explained the regulation may not necessarily lead to a significant increase in fuel price, but necessary step to redirect funds to more critical areas. Akpabio, who spoke in response to a question on the recent fuel prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, stated that the removal of subsidy would mean that Nigerians would need to tighten their belts. He, however, believes that an increase in product availability would eventually lead to lower prices.
When I say that brighter days are ahead, it simply means that all the wrong that kept the country where it is will be corrected. Okay, I haven't actually assessed what something in terms of pump price increase, but it's not pump price increase. If you are taking away the continuous subsidy, want people to pay for the actual price of what we consume, in that case, you will now use one or two. You understand? It simply means that you stop the idea of subsidy in order to make sure things are used for other things. So I don't expect any increase in pump price. Expect the market forces to determine. And I would expect that now that it's no longer going to bring petroleum products into the country, a mix will bring. And you know, the more available, the cheaper the price. So at the beginning, it might look at, but I believe strongly that in the next, with the increase here, with the Dangote, and then the other refineries become functional, and the fact that it is now open to all to bring in good products to the country, I can assure you that we may not even see poor prices. So please, let's not.
PDP's National Working Committee had suspended Olugbunagha and Ajibade over allegations of disloyalty and insubordination leveled against them moments after the People's Democratic Party PDP National Working Committee, headed by the acting national chairman Iliya Damagom, announced the suspension of the party's national publicity secretary Debo Olugbunagha and the national legal advisor Kamaldeen Ajibade. Another statement signed by Debo Olugbunagha has announced the suspension of the PDP acting national chairman and national secretary Samuel Anyanwu. PDP's National Working Committee had suspended Olugbunagha and Ajibade over allegations of disloyalty and insubordination leveled against them. In a twist, however, Olugbunagha, in a statement on Friday, also announced the suspension of Damagom and Anyanwu. Governor Peter Amba of Enugu State welcomed home the reigning Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidimma Adetshina, with a special appointment as the state's brand ambassador. At the government house in Enugu, the governor received Chidimma and her father, Okechukwu Onwe, and emphasized the importance of education in empowering young people to achieve their goals.
short of inspiring, and you have just alluded to it, and see that despite all attempts to you demonstrated that you are a daughter of Enugu State who overcame those with the grit and resilience Enugu is known for. So I congratulate you. You have elected me by your ask, because part of our ask would have been to have you as a true ambassador of this state. And so I'm very glad that even elected.
As a brand ambassador, Chidimma pledged to work with the state to mentor and encourage youths, aligning with Governor Mbah's administration's focus on education.
Is really passionate about education. It's really an honor to have someone contribute to the education system for the betterment of the youth and also for better tomorrow, because education is important. So I'm really honored that you are playing a part in the youth, the lives as well. With that being said, I'm just going to give you a little brief on as to how I got here. So I've lived in South Africa. I tried out for Miss South Africa and I made it through to the top 16. And when I made it through, it stopped in South Africa because they said I'm not South African enough because my name. And every single week that I would progress in the competition, it's a very big news in South Africa until I made it through to the top 9. And in the final week of the competition, I had to withdraw for my safety and my family as well. And also because it was too much for me. Personally, I think I really handled it really well. I went through that with so much grace and so much determination, and I don't think a lot of people actually pull through.
Chidimma, who represents Nigeria at the International Miss Universe pageant in Mexico, receives assurances of support and goodwill from the people of Enugu State. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Chidimma Adetshina, expressed confidence in Chidimma's potential to emerge victorious in Mexico. This homecoming celebration is a significant moment for Chidimma, who has been in the spotlight since winning the Miss Universe Nigeria title. Despite facing controversy, she has received widespread attention and celebration from Nigerians. Still to come, 2024 Live in My City Art Festival for secondary schools opens in Enugu. Kidnapped media crew in Anambra rescued by Joint Task Force. Details in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching Global News on Signature Television. The 4th edition of the Live in My City Art Festival Secondary School Workshop commenced on Thursday at Ogui Road, Enugu, bringing together students from various schools for a 2-day program focused on arts, creativity, and self-expression. Organizer Izuchukwu Moneme emphasized that the workshop aims to develop students' creative minds and inner talents through visual arts competitions, Pan-African photography contests, and school children's arts exhibition.
Platform these young children, most of them in their schools, they no longer study fine art as a course. But here on to different areas of visual arts, painting, textile, drawings, and you see that at the end of the day, these children develop a kind of help them in any field they see themselves. Art is something that cuts across different, whether you are an engineer, whether you are a medical doctor, whether you are even an artist. Once in a while, you come across drawing and painting. In a creative mind, a creative person, any
Tutors at the workshop highlighted the importance of collaboration and funding to sustain the project, underscoring its social and economic benefits. Participants enthusiastically shared their expectations and creative visions, demonstrating the empowering potential of arts. Arts inspires meaningful expression, engagement, and empowerment. LIMCAF has consistently demonstrated this power through its diversity and growth in quality of human capital development. Meanwhile, joint security forces have successfully rescued 6 members of the media crew who were abducted while traveling from Lagos to Uyo. A statement by the Anambra State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Tochukwu Ikenga. The kidnapped victims were rescued along the Iseke Road, Olu, in Ihiala. Meanwhile, operations are still ongoing to rescue the 7th crew member. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has again raised the pump price of premium motor spirit PMS, commonly known as petrol, to 1,030 naira from 897 per liter in Abuja, and in Lagos to 998 per liter from 868 per liter. Other locations witnessed similar price hikes, and developments that triggered anger amongst Nigerians. The latest price adjustment shows that in the less than 17 months of the current administration, the price of petrol has risen by over 430% since May 29, 2023, when it took over power. Signature TV correspondent Nasiru Usman went to the streets of Abuja to seek the reactions of commuters.
So I'll just quickly check the Q&A if there are any questions that haven't been already answered or addressed by Dave. Then we will take that and wrap it up with Dave. Okay, so
yeah, I would say you can also reach me here. I do get overwhelmed with emails, but I love this group. I want to tell you all, the bar is high. Like the previous cohort of fellows that came through the foundation wrote a lot of very excellent articles, did a lot of great research. So I'm like, the bar is high on all of you to do good work. And I want to be as supportive as I possibly can. I love this work. I think the work that the foundation is doing is so important. I think the work that you all do is unbelievably important. And so do feel free to fire me a question. And if not, I can't answer. I also would love to put you in touch with like more local experts that you can draw upon, who can speak to like the context of your communities. I think that that's so important to build that kind of capacity and capability. So I want to thank everyone for having me, and my expectations of you are high, but I'm also confident that you will meet them.
Thank you so much, Dave. We're so grateful for your time. All learned a lot, and we will definitely come back to you as you supported us with the first phase. Thank you, Dave.
Take care, everyone. Good luck.
Bye. Bye. Okay. Thank you all for joining and staying with us. I believe that we've had a very good session with Dave. We would, at this stage, announce the shortlisted applicants. But just before that, we would like to share a few observations that we've made on the applications that we received. So, first of all, we noticed that a few of you submitted support letters that were neither signed or on the official letterheads of your media outlets. So it was on the plain, Word documents, and then, you just attached it to the application. I think that during the country focus webinars, we mentioned several times the importance of having the support letters from your media outlets on the official letterheads of the media outlet, signed by the program manager or the editor, or the institutional head, the head of the institution. And so for some of you, your application did not progress to the next stage because of that. Some of the support letters were also signed by the applicants themselves. So, you, the person applying, signed the letter that was supposed to be signed by your boss. And when that happens, we are unable to move you to the next stage because obviously you fail to meet one of the critical requirements for the application. For some of the applications too, they were the directors of the media outlets, and so the support letters were, quote unquote, also signed by the applicants themselves. So you are the boss, and you are the one also signing the endorsement letter. That becomes a challenge because we need to, have an applicant that would report to someone. We need somebody higher in hierarchy to deal with when it comes to the partnership or the engagement with the media outlet. So it becomes a challenge for us to add such an application to the shortlist. And then for some of the applications too, there were some inconsistencies with the employment status. Some indicated they were freelance journalists in their statement of interest, but there were, multiple.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Tinubu's handling of the fuel subsidy crisis, referring to him as T-Pain in a tweet on Thursday. Atiku attributed the current economic challenges facing Nigeria to what he described as the haphazard and disingenuous approach of the Tinubu administration to fuel subsidy management. In his statement, Atiku expressed concern about the escalating inflation rate, stating that it is severely impacting the lives of Nigerians. He lamented that despite the growing hardships, Tinubu appears unfazed by the plight of the citizens. His haphazard and disingenuous approach of the current administration to fuel subsidy management has been the reason we're in the current economic crisis in the country, Atiku says. The nickname T-Pain for Tinubu emerged as a play on the first letter of his name and the name of American rapper and producer T-Pain, sparked by frustrations over the rising cost of living under his administration. On this year's World Mental Health Day, the World Health Organization (WHO) on Thursday called for support for mental health in the workplace, lamenting the depression and anxiety results in the loss of approximately 12 billion workdays each year globally. Making this call in her message to mark the day, WHO Regional Director for Africa, Dr. Matshidiso Moeti, who stressed the need for attention to the crucial importance of mental health in the workplace, said a health work environment not only provides structure and purpose, but also fosters social connections, giving individuals a sense of personal value and identity. Each year on October 10th, WHO and the global community mark World Mental Health Day to raise awareness for mental health issues worldwide and mobilize efforts to support mental well-being. This year's theme is "It is time to prioritize mental health in the workplace." According to Moeti, this year's theme underscored the crucial role of work in shaping lives, adding that workplaces can also be significant sources of stress, negatively affecting both physical and mental health. According to Moeti, factors such as discrimination, poor working conditions, underpayment, harassment, bullying, and lack of control can only contribute to mental health challenges at work. Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters has responded to a viral video featuring ex-Niger Delta militant Asare Dokubo, who claimed that he had the capacity to bring down military aircraft allegedly hovering over his house during the recent Rivers State local government elections. Dokubo implied that the aircraft were attempting to intimidate him due to the support for the election, stating that the federal government knows that he has the capacity to bring down the aircraft. In response, Major General Edward Buba, Director of Defense Media Operations, dismissed Dokubo's claim as laughable, asserting that Dokubo was merely blabbing and lacked the capability to challenge the military or bring down its aircrafts. Buba added that various security agencies use aircraft and helicopters for national security operations and emphasized the military's adherence to professional standards within the bounds of democracy. He also noted that it is up to relevant authorities to address such statements. Sokoto State Police Command has arrested 22 suspects in connection with criminal conspiracy, theft, mischief, and receiving of stolen items. The State Police Commissioner Ahmed Musa made this known while addressing journalists in Sokoto on Thursday. Musa stated that the arrests aligned with the police commitment to ensuring the safety of lives and property in the state. The CP revealed that 2 suspects were apprehended following reports from the manager of Samag Engineering Company regarding the alleged theft of aluminium conductor wires in Goronyo local government area on Friday. He also reported that officers attached to the Achida police outstation in the Wuruno local government area arrested the driver during the stop and search patrol on Saturday. The federal government has announced the reintroduction of school health programs aimed at addressing the physical and mental health needs of adolescents. The government stated that the initiative is designed to provide comprehensive health supports to students, ensuring they have access to essential healthcare services within schools, with focus on improving both their physical well-being and mental resilience. Professor Mohammed Pate, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, made the announcement on Thursday in Abuja while feeding questions at a news conference to mark 2024 International Adolescents Health Week. Pate is represented by Ms. Daju Kacholum, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, explained that the school health program would teach adolescents how to prioritize their physical and mental health while focusing on hygiene and nutrition. According to him, this year's IAW theme serves as a call to action, ensuring that today's youths are growing, flourishing, and equipped to navigate life's challenges with resilience, strength, and confidence. He added that adolescents face challenges such as mental health issues, gender-based violence, substance abuse, risky sexual behaviors, and bullying, in addition to structural barriers like poverty, poor access to quality healthcare, and lack of education. The National Orientation Agency, NOA, in Niger State, has started a public enlightenment campaign on Nigeria's national anthem and national values charter. Malam Yaya Bongbo, State Director of NOA, said at a news conference in Minna on Thursday that the aim was to promote national unity, patriotism, and shared values among Nigerians. Bongbo said Nigeria's national consciousness had faced challenges in recent years, including growing distrust in government institutions, diminishing loyalty to the state, and eroding patriotism. He said that the campaign sought to address these issues by reinvigorating the spirit of unity, patriotism, and national pride across the country. He said the key elements of the campaign was to reinforce loyalty to the nation, promote civic responsibility, inculcate national values in youths, engage Nigerians in diaspora, and leverage the power of the media. According to him, the agency will partner with media organizations to disseminate the message of national reorientation. He disclosed that the National Values Charter was divided into 2 sections, which were the Nigerian Promise with 7 core promises made by the country. He listed them to include equality, democracy, entrepreneurship, peace and security, inclusivity, freedom and justice, and meritocracy. The Lagos State government says it is committed to tackling sexual, domestic, and gender-based violence against persons with disabilities in the state. The Executive Secretary of the state's Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, DSVA, Titilola Vivo Adeni, said this at the engagement with persons with disabilities on sexual and gender-based violence on Thursday at Ikeja. Vivo Adeni said that the issue of domestic, sexual, and gender-based violence disproportionately affected persons with disabilities, a community that often faced multiple forms of discrimination and exclusion. She said that the agency was deeply committed to ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their abilities, had access to justice, support, and protection from violence. According to her, persons with disabilities are particularly vulnerable to sexual and gender-based violence due to a variety of factors. And now we're moving over to some business update.
Eric, de Togo Actualité 360, Papa Elisabeth a dit remonter à Riquet, de IEM Média, Samboui, Camboissois, de Labas, Alou Adel Raphaël et Sokele de Radio Cosmos, et à Tor de Faux News, Waklachi de Nouvelle Langue, Ikousou, l'économie du Togo. Nous avons l'osso après l'estimant de Faux News. Nous avons Edani, de Radio Métropolis, Tajia Ayao, de Liberté, Idée de Flambeau démocrate, Lodani Dana, de Gako.
Guy. Good, I like what you're doing. That's the only way to learn. Can you start the meeting? How do you combine? Nasiru might come in live for the press conference in Abuja. I don't know the exact press conference, but he's joined already. So if we get him well framed, we just end this news and link him, then join your meeting. I don't know if you want to banter with him also.
What is the meeting about?
The press conference. I want to go, I will find out.
Let me know what it is.
Let me call Saidi.
So I would now share my screen to announce those who have been shortlisted for Nigeria. Okay. believe everyone can see my screen. So, in no particular order, Bakari Majid from Premium Times, Nkechi Macaulay from Radio 1, Babaji Osman from Wiki Times, Pius Charles from Signature TV, Arinze Chijoke from The Investigator, and apologies for butchering the names. Olubusola Victoria from The Cable, Afolabi Fomi Lola from Crest FM, Samson Akintaro from Nairametrics. The names are there, so if you're not sure whether it's based on my pronunciation, please apologies for that. Emmanuel Amogu from Tech Build Africa, Alfred Ajayi from Radio Nigeria, Ayodeji Adebo Yega from Premium Times, Bashra Yusuf Badmos from News Agency of Nigeria, Ibrahim Adeyemi from Human Girl and Media, Daniel Abiantoye from Punch Newspaper, Flora Awenya from Orange FM, Anibe Adajidi from Tech City. Okay, this is the call. Okay, Impo Kana Udoma from Switchwood Reports, Green Imba from Leadership Newspaper, Olubu Kola Olukemi from News Agency of Nigeria, Chineye Oluforo from Daily Sun, Vanessa Richard Bassi from Sparkling FM.
I am enjoying myself.
Michael Kofi Kenete from GBC Corporadia, Enes Bakurubutu from Business and Financial Times, Mohammed Malik.
And that's the news this hour. Many thanks for watching. My name is Charles Pius. Have a good afternoon. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.